Okay, in today's video we're going to focus on dividing up the torch body sections. So we're going to have two main body sections. So let's look at the back of the device. We're going to simply draw a rectangle. I'm going to offset the two sections because there will be a slight gap. So let's make it as small as possible. 0.2. Let's fully constrain this tiny rectangle. We're just going to cut the two sections from each other. So extruded cut through all. And we're going to keep both bodies. So keep all. Okay, so now we have two sections. So basically up until now we've been modelling, knowing that we're going to produce for injection moulding, but finally we've divided it up in such a way that we could mould the two parts, so the core and the cavity. So I'm just changing the colour of one of the body sections so you can see, identify the difference, identify the two parts. And there's section A, or section 1. But we need to add some interlocking detail rather than just cut the two parts. So I'm now drawing on the right plane, and we need to add some interlocking ribs. So zoom in. We need to start creating some geometry. So let's start converting and offsetting. There is no template sketch for this, so we're just going to model it up. You could continue with the template sketch entities that we've been using, putting together. I'm choosing to model up the ribs in this instance. So I'm just shortening these lines so I can manipulate them. I'm going to bring this back to my center line. So coincidence, and that brings me all the way back to the center, setting a coincidence mate. Not even a mate really, it's kind of a relation. So linking, adding relations. So I'm producing my interlocking geometry here. We need to bridge the divide. So we've got a little gap where the switch mount point is, and then we need to continue our interlocking section. And I think I'm going to end it here, and then I'm going to continue probably below the thread, but that we'll draw in a minute. So we need our interlock to be both sides. So at the moment we've got it on one side of the part. So let's mirror. Or we could just draw it. I think the problem with mirroring is that we now have switch geometry on one side of the part, so we could mirror and then clean up the image, or we could just model up, just draw both sides. It doesn't take long. You can see I'm using the trim tools. Okay, so on this side we're going to bring this feature all the way across, and we can match it up. So if we select this line and then we use the collinear relation, and then we go down. It was hard for you to see it, but I selected this line at the base. We can make part symmetric. Oh. That's collinear. That's equal. So we've just made the width equal by selecting two lines and asking make equal. So you can use symmetry. You can make things equal as long as we're fully constraining the geometry. So this looks pretty good here at this stage. I think I can start to extrude bits out. But perhaps, okay, since we don't have a template, let's make this sketch our template sketch. So we're going to add, I could have drawn this as a box, but I'm just drawing up some geometry here to extend the interlocking geometry for the area underneath the thread. So just make equal, so it's the same thickness as other interlocking sections. Okay, I think that looks okay. Of course, I need it both sides. We've just chosen to make this a little bit thicker than the others because it's going to be an interlock across a diameter, not a flat edge. So it's going to get thinner. So I decided to make it a bit thicker. Let's give it a template name. How about template rib connection? That could work. Need some geometry for mirroring. Let's make this centerline construction. And I think I can mirror this part, so let's mirror both sides. Mirror about the centerline. There you go. So, okay, so we finished our template rib connection part. So right, let's draw again on the right plane. And let's start creating some ribs. So you can see what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So our two plastic parts, basically, yeah, they're going to come together. But they could slip and slide. So if you have some interlocking ribs, you can guarantee that one part falls over the other part. And it also means that grease and grime won't get between the two parts and get through the gap. So just did a took a copy of the template sketch on the right plane, and then let's bring this rib out. Okay. We didn't connect it. We didn't add it to a body. We didn't merge the results. So let's merge. And we need to select the body. So we're going to select this body. Okay. So you can see the rib at the moment is intersecting geometry. So we need to cut some geometry away at some point. So on the yellow side, I need to reverse the rib. I need to take material away. I'm not going to look at these front body areas yet. I'm going to focus on the rear. It's the easier part to do. So that's cut, extrude, and extrude inwards upon itself. And obviously we want to select the yellow part bodies. Okay, so it should slot together. Okay. So let's bring the we need to kind of finish off our interlocking geometry on the right plane. Let's go back and convert entities for the initial template. We're just going to keep drawing stuff off the template. We need to extrude this out again. We need to go both ways this time because we'll have some zero geometry here. So let's look at, yeah, so we can go up to surface. There you go. So let's bring that back. So we've got some material padding it out. But we also want to go out as far as the other body. So we want to go in direction 2, and we want to select a face up on the other body. Well, that's good. We don't want it to join the two parts, so we're going to have to be very careful through feature scope to select only this side. Okay, and now I think all there really is to do is to trim back. So let's trim. Let's draw in our sketch. So just need to create, just trying here to create some geometry on this face for trimming. Okay, so just trimming the sketch back because we want a nice thick rib. So just checking out the geometry just to see if it all matches up. I can see, I think the poly count is making it look like it's clashing when in fact it's not. So if we were to render this, the straight edges on the circle would be rounded. That's it for the detailing section.